Since the media is silencing the voices of the Lahaina fire victims, it's only right we take a moment to hear what just a few of them have to say.
Because this was not a natural disaster. I would like actually samples taken from the soil. You guys put the screen up. You won't let anyone see what's going on inside. But we know very well that you guys, as the third largest stakeholders, the state, do want that land and can take it when you deem it a natural disaster.
Wow.
And that is disgusting.
It was not a natural disaster. This emergency proclamation is a fall. Funny how all the common people were taken out in one fell swoop of a fire.
I 100% know with every fiber of my being that this was not a natural disaster. This was a planned attack. There are many, it's a 1 + 1 + 1 = 3 equation. You cannot call me a conspiracy theorist for being a critical thinker. Did you know that the CIA, the corrupt CIA, invented the words conspiracy theorist as a way to gaslight people for speaking up on the truth?
The footage I'm about to show you, it's yet to be confirmed as to the actual location, but it does appear that Maui police officers are refusing to let Lahaina fire victims onto their own land.
Is escort.
I request the recognition of my rights in my territory.
Okay, for this moment right now, this is a line that can't be crossed at this moment, okay?
I beg to differ with you, officer, and I know likely you're in a dilemma. However, you must realize that this is my territory and my rights to have free access to my territory.
Okay.
It is a law.
Now we're just going to hold the line for a moment here. We've got to take care of some things.
For a moment, so you're going to let him in a moment?
Officer, that is not your business, is not my business. My territory is my business.
No, I'm tapped.
You're tapped?
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
tapped
so
out for a
that's
second.
good. Something 3 feet? Okay, that's good. And, okay, so then we'll need one more.
So police are breaking the law by not allowing, I forget what section that is, but not allowing Bill Jones on his own territory this morning.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to make it very clear that Oprah is not the biggest victim here. There's a reason why people would be like, I guess people, there's always a reason why. And I think that the corporate and the mainstream media don't understand that a lot of Americans are waking up to becoming critical thinkers, and they feel that they are being played by either their government and the media. That's why the people don't trust the media. So it's just, that's very simple. So for Oprah to get on national TV, and meanwhile, this is happening in Maui, you're talking about, you're mad because people are mad at you for saying that they just rather you donate because you're worth so much money, and you want the people to donate, knowing that that's what the people are going through in America. They're going through. You just literally, you have a whole list of exactly where the money in America is going. You literally have a whole list.
This is really not a video. This is just a informative conversation that we're both gonna have right now. Like, we're on FaceTime, you watching the videos and my likes that's on TikTok. I've been seeing Maui a lot on my timeline, and I want to bring it to the forefront. There are a lot of spiritual situations that's going on in Hawaii, and a lot of physical corruptions that's going on too. So I'm about to expose it for y'all. Let's get into the video.
On the night of August 9th, a powerful Category 4 hurricane was a couple hundred miles offshore from Maui and was causing extreme winds to rip through the island. Maui has 78 different sensors across their power grid system, and they suddenly started getting signals that dozens of them are going off, alerting of faults in the system. Maui residents were getting awoken to flashing bright lights, likely electrical explosions from when the trees were falling down onto the power lines.
Flashing bright lights. Now, I'm a firm believer that they had laser beams going down there in Maui, but they just saying it's just probably, it was explosions that was happening, but people were waking up to flashing bright lights.
The company was negligent with their down power lines and are now involved in a cover-up. Water held back from firefighters, roads were even blocked, trapping Americans inside the inferno. And FEMA officials have been staying at 5-star luxury resorts. But it actually gets worse. The Free Beacon discovered that FEMA, in the middle of all of this around-the-clock search and rescue recovery mission, is telling their workers to focus on diversity training. FEMA is having workers do a 3-hour course on equity in the middle of the disaster recovery. So while Hawaiians are missing kids and are prevented from seeing their scorched homes, FEMA officials are staying at the Four Seasons and taking a 3-hour course on white supremacy. Hawaiians are being evicted from their homes so landlords can cash in.
We've been receiving call after call of people who are being asked to be evicted by their landlords. People who are being displaced during a time of emergency when their house was like the only house standing in their neighborhood, simply because the owner of the house realized that their investment is no longer a sound investment.
Why are people getting evicted if their homes didn't burn? Maui residents say this is highly suspicious. The emergency housing proclamation was declared weeks before the actual emergency created a housing emergency. This emergency proclamation has been described as a gift to developers. The residents are apoplectic because of all the emergency powers. They go to a housing czar, and residents get no say. Now the residents think developers, government officials, and all those billionaires have bought up land in Hawaii. Like Zuckerberg, Oprah, Bezos are going to take advantage of the devastation.
We busted our and this is what we get. Nobody called us. Our phones didn't work from 5 in the morning. The fire was not 10 o'clock when I went to work. The fire was still there. There was no water. Tell me if that's not coincidence. No water, no warning. And everybody talking about the satellite city before the fire. Lahaina gonna be the first satellite city. Well, hey, Jeff Bezos, you got what you wanted. Oprah, you got what you wanted. And the guy who owns Lanai, you got what you wanted. That's all over.
Many of the Maui residents are worried that their town is going to be turned into a smart city, a tech hub, where wealthy people work remotely, massive data is collected, and middle-class people are priced out. Primetime has no idea what's going on. The governor of Hawaii calls this all a conspiracy theory.
Look.
Realtors, people in the real estate industry, are calling your family and your friends who have lost everything to buy their plots of land.
It is disgusting. We have real estate investors and speculators going around calling our victims, offering to give them cash and buy their property. It is disgusting. It's a land grab, and I know that our Lahaina community, we are resilient, and we will do whatever it takes to protect Lahaina.
And that's one of the big concerns as they search for the missing and the dead, is that Lahaina doesn't lose its spirit, right? That people from the outside don't come and rebuild and turn it into a tourist mecca.
We've already been displaced enough, and we plan to have a seat at the table in rebuilding Lahaina and ensuring that the rich cultural history of Lahaina is protected and that the multi-generational families get to come back home.
And I was wondering what was stopping the traffic. Well, it was a policeman. And I got to the end and I looked up north. There were no obstructions. There was no reason to keep those cars there.
Are you serious?
I'm serious as a heart attack. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm under orders to keep them here. And I said, the fire is right around Safeway. It's going to hit Front Street. You know, these people got to get out of here. And he said, I'm following orders.
No way.
And so I just kept walking. Well, maybe he knows something I don't, you know. So
You're saying they were blockaded in by the police at the end of Front Street?
Yeah.
Like where the restaurant is?
Where the chart house.
Where the chart house was, I should say. There was a blockade there, and they could not go any further.
Right. I walked.
What the hell?
The police officer said that they are under order to keep them here, keep them blocked, so they can't go anywhere else. How much more proof do you need?
There's a big conspiracy going on with what's really happening with the rich and the warfare going on with the Maui fires that almost nobody's talking about, and we're gonna expose. Guys, make sure to click the plus sign, sound up in the comments, and tell me what you think. But we keep seeing lots of video like this where we've had the biggest fires in over 100 years that have a lot of supernatural properties that just devastate Maui. But then you can see the coastline where all the rich have their homes, they have their estates, or they have their condos, they have all these places and they're not touched. But there's more going on than what we're aware of. Now, the popular pervasive theme that I completely agree with and we're going to talk about is that there are warfare energy weapons that were directed and that can actually go where the fires want and then stop where they want. But there's another one that's a little more logical but also out there, and that is that the other people who aren't wealthy, typically their homes weren't built well, of no fault of their own, but they were built of things like firewood, where the rich had concrete, they had brick.
but what's really happening with the inequities. My name is Joy. I talk to aliens and I've worked with them my whole life. They're called the Pleiadians. And in talking to them, they've explained a few things to me about how their society works and what's really happening here. And one thing is this. In their society, they have technology that can manifest anything, including homes. They can manifest food. They can manifest clothing. They have the technology. Basically, you snap your fingers and you can manifest what you want within reason to what is good for the society. And what they've said is this. They've said, the rich have access to this technology. Well, why aren't they using it? Well, they are, but why don't we know about it? Because they want to keep us enslaved. And the Pleiadians, alongside of some other races of ET beings, want to come back and bring us this technology on top of other technology that can completely fix and heal our bodies. And what's happening with Maui is there's a bigger spiritual thing at play. And we're going to see this with more and more disasters where these things are going to be exposed. The dark is going to come to light. But the other part that we're not going to see yet and that we're getting prepared for is that the light, the Pleiadians, the other alien beings that are trying to help are going to come back, and the people of Maui are going to be the first people, as well as the other things that will happen. They're going to be some of the first people to get access to this technology so we can rebuild those homes. There is one step we have to do to get there. We have to open our minds and our hearts to the possibility of these things, to the possibility that these rich people are suppressing this tech from us because they want to keep us enslaved. However,
because she's talking about the Pleiadians, right? Tell me why I used to watch the History Channel and I used to watch this thing called Ancient Aliens. I remember an episode where they were talking about this a portal in Hawaii. And I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so they beamed everything down and there's a portal in Hawaii. And the woman was just talking about the Pleiadians, which is what I heard from the video from Ancient Aliens. This is on the History Channel, Ancient Aliens. All types of stuff going on this planet that they keep blocked up. And they're trying to stop, really destroy these portals. They've already tried to do it before. Okay, y'all, so I have to say this part because I'm trying not to get copyrighted. This is Gary Hoffield, however you say his last name. He's a member of the lawful Hawaiian government who is involved and the coordinator of Hawaiian Star Visitor Sanctuary. Now, they created this sanctuary for extraterrestrial visitation. Gary even says that several people, like 30 people, were sitting there at the visitation area and they saw 3 orbs flying around this volcanic lava flow. And they start to circulate around the sky and then they just flew up and it just went off into the distance. This is just one extraterrestrial experience that they had at that place. Imagine all the other stuff that happened there. Okay, y'all, so check this out. Hawaiian natives referred to their ancestors as star ancestors. They have come to Earth through a space-time portal in Hawaii. And for many ancient astronomers, they believe this also. Hawaiian natives created a star visitor sanctuary that represents an important step in the request of making contact with the extraterrestrial civilization. Hawaii even built a welcome center for extraterrestrials. Come on now, it don't get no bigger than that. Their entire legend is based on stars. Their origins are the stars. They themselves have said that they are a direct offspring of extraterrestrials. Among many Hawaiians, they believe that they were the original people. They were the gateway for the gods or the aliens to come to see the planet. The Hawaii Island is a critical portal energy point for these extraterrestrials from distant star systems, right? So they would say that the Pleiadian aliens would come and they would use the portal to send their people to Earth. Till today, they say they are guided by them.
Maui is literally,
and they say that there is a gateway in Hawaii. And extraterrestrials have visited through them. He had to disclose his face and who he was because he didn't want to get killed. But I saw in a video that he said that there are portals on this planet and they have been experimenting on these portals around this earth. Why do you think they haven't rebuilt these ancient areas that look like portals? He says that there is one in Harp in Gakona. I think I'm saying it right. Gakona, Alaska. The portal there takes you to Hawaii. And he said it's like going through a plane of water, like you're literally walking through water, moving from point A to B. And they are using them in these facilities. He says that there's a lot of them in South Africa, Antarctica, Canada, Argentina. He said there's 3 of them in Egypt and in Australia. A lot of people are already using these portals spiritually, and the government is using it physically. Now, if you pay attention, when did the wildfire start? August 8th. What happened on August 8th? A Lionsgate portal opened. So, was this really just a natural disaster, or was this planned? Because there were portals opening on the day of the fire. And they purposely turned the electricity off, turned the water off. I showed y'all this video of this woman explaining the same thing that Isis Wisdom has said in a live that she was talking about the Maui fires. She was talking about how that being burnt down helped them create a better city. This lady was saying the same thing. And in the video with the ancient aliens, Hawaii itself has a Stargate portal. All of this is connecting to me. I don't know if it's not connecting to y'all, but this is what I've had in my likes so far. I can't find the part where she said it, but I think it was in this live. It's on her page. Y'all go watch it too. I am the realest to ever do it. A lot of y'all was asking me to speak on the Maui wildfires. I knew what was going on, but I didn't know all the behind the scenes that was happening. I'm moving into a better place where I'm not reacting off of everything. I'm thinking first, and then I react, and then I say what I feel from it. So I did a lot of like thought into it. You know, just watch everything as it comes out. Y'all was asking for a part 3 for the video of the women in slavery who got their get back, saying y'all need a part 3. We need a part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, part 3, part 3, part 3. So I'm gonna record that after this. The Maui situation was weighing heavy on me today, so I was like, let me just make a video about it and see what I find and come up on, because it kept popping up on my timeline when I started the day. So I'm just like, okay, let me see what's going on. I hope this gave y'all a little more insight. Maui is gonna come out stronger and better. This situation actually gave people more of a insight and understanding of what's really going on over there in their government. It's gonna make them want to fight back more. It's gonna make them take more control over what's already theirs. It's going to put the power back into their hands if they don't let the government get over on them, which I know they not, because you see how they was speaking on those videos. Maui is gonna become a beautiful city when they rebuild, and they're gonna take back what's theirs. You gotta believe the people. I believe the people before I believe the government. Sorry.